I'm using masking fluid at the beginning of this tutorial. I will be showing you an alternative at the end, but I'm applying it with Pebeo masking pen, and details about this can be found in the description below. But masking fluid masks out light areas, so I'm masking out all the light areas in this painting. Once your masking fluid has dried, wet your background and then paint your sky area with a very dilute wash of Quinacridone gold. What I'm doing now is I'm using my size 6 brush and I'm dropping in some brown and yellow mixed together, wet in wet. Because this is part of the sketchbook series, I really want you to loosen up and just experiment a little bit with the watercolour. Don't try so hard, just see what happens, see what the paint does, how it runs. You know, don't try to follow all the rules now, just take your time. I'm painting darker colours now, the grey and the brown, painting damp into wet. So my paint is creamier, but my background is still wet. You get with that is some really nice dark sort of shapes like the trees in the background, so it's quite effective. I'm now dropping in some of the Quinacridone gold on that top field using the size 6 brush. This is wet on dry now, and I'm tilting my little sketchbook there so all the paint runs down to the bottom and it doesn't run up into that wet sky and background trees. And I've got the grey and the yellow just mixed it makes a really nice green, and just, you know, just adding a tiny touch of the brown there as well, a very dilute mix there just to cover that sort of more of the foreground area of the painting. So basically now you've covered all your entire sort of painting with colour. I'm just working now with these background trees with the tip of my brush with a nice dark colour, damp into damp, just to give a little bit more detail. You'll still get a soft edge, but it'll be a little bit more defined. For longer videos with lots more voiceovers, lots more tips and techniques, and a drawing template, why not think about joining my Patreon membership? Details about that can be found in the top right hand corner or in the description below, and don't hesitate to ask me any questions. I'm just sprinkling a little bit of salt now on this damp paint so it sort of absorbs the paint and creates these lovely little textures like little wildflowers. And I'm using a cut up plastic card and scratching and lifting off paint to create some lovely stems and grasses in the foreground. I've also decided to use my size 2 brush, and I'm painting some very dark stems and leaves with a mixture of the indigo and the Quinacridone gold using my size 2 brush, damp into damp. I've allowed my painting to dry and I've removed all of the masking fluid, and I'm painting the light areas with Quinacridone gold. You could obviously just use a yellow, and it's wet on dry, but I am leaving some white as well for some highlights. This is a fun bit. I'm actually using my twig and a puddle of dark paint, and I'm just painting some very thin grasses here and there. I hope you enjoyed all that spattering. What I use instead of masking fluid is some white gouache, or you can use white watercolour paint. And I've mixed it with the Quinacridone gold, and I'm painting it wet on dry, just all the light areas. It's not cheating, it's good fun, and remember, it's your sketchbook, experimenting and creating and just sort of trying out new ideas. I really love to finish off with one final splatter just to get rid of all the paint in my palette actually, but it's great fun to do. And I'm just painting some little birds. They're like little V shapes in the distance. It gives a little bit of life to this little sketch and just a nice way of finishing off. And also they're my little splatter marks. So they've been positioned quite well. So I'm quite pleased about that in that kind of random way. And don't forget to sign and date your little sketch as well. And if you'd like to get access to the in-depth longer tutorial or my weekly exclusive tutorials, why not think about joining my Patreon membership? Details about the membership can be found in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Happy painting. Bye for now.